It's vocab time. Welcome to Alfred English TV. In this episode, I'm going to help you how to stop using very. This is a vocabulary booster. So I'm going to share with you some vocabulary words that you can use instead of saying very. All right? In this way, your sentence sounds better because you are using most appropriate vocabulary words. Are you ready? Okay, so let's start up. Again, I entitled this episode as Stop Using Very Vocabulary Booster. Let's start up with our first word. Instead of saying very tasty, better say delicious. Like example, Namaste serves delicious menu in town. Instead of saying Namaste serves very tasty food on the menu in town, better say delicious. So very tasty, delicious. Second word, instead of saying very hungry, better say famished. Okay? Instead of saying very hungry, better say famished. Example, I've been famished that I can eat a horse. You are very hungry already that you can eat a horse. Notice there is an underline for I can eat a horse because this is actually an idiomatic expression that means you want to eat a lot of food. You want to eat a lot of food because you are very hungry, famished. Now you got it. Next word, very strange. Very strange is like saying something is very new to you that seems to be very disgusting or very weird to your senses. Instead of saying very strange, better say bizarre. Example, Andrew Zimmern hosts a TV show featuring international bizarre foods which others consider disgusting. Okay? Even you search on Google, you type in there Andrew Zimmern, then it will appear that he hosts a TV show that features bizarre foods or very strange foods all over the world, and that others consider that these foods disgusting. So very strange to your taste, bizarre. Next word, very wise. Instead of saying very wise, better say sagacious. Sagacious. For example, in Bible stories, King Solomon was reputed as a sagacious man in judge making. So King Solomon was considered to be a very wise man. Okay? Better say sagacious. They just mean the same. And you sound better. Very wise, sagacious. Next word. Say very calm. Instead of saying I mean very calm, better say serene. Example, I wish to explore the serene wild forest in Amazon. So in this instance, Amazon is like an undisturbed forest or wild forest. So you want to explore how calm it is, how quiet it is, how undisturbed Amazon wild forest is. So you say, I wish to explore the serene wild forest in Amazon. So instead of saying very calm, now you say serene. All right, next word. Very old. Very old. Vocabulary for that is ancient. Ancient. Ancient dinosaur fossils have been unearthed along the terrains of Gobi. Gobi is actually a desert where dinosaur fossils or dinosaur remains were found. And these remains were very old already, ancient. Okay? Instead of saying very old, better say ancient. Next word, very afraid. Very afraid, better say terrified. Terrified. Example, are you still terrified of your past? If you had a fearful past or something in the past that you are really very afraid of, now you say terrified. They just mean the same. Very afraid, terrified. Next word, very lazy, very lazy. Better say indolent, indolent. Josh succeeds because he has never been an indolent student ever since. So Josh wasn't an indolent student. You got it? Very lazy, indolent. Next word, very accurate, very accurate. You say exact, exact. We hear this word time and time again, right? But sometimes we will still say very accurate. That was an exact answer to the question. Rather than saying that was a very accurate answer to the question. Now you say that was an exact answer to the question. Next word, very lively, very lively. You say vivacious or like very full of life. Better say vivacious. Example, what a vivacious participation from all Zumba goers. Wow. So you see, instead of saying like the Zumba goers were so lively, full of life, you say vivacious. All right. Next word. Here we have an example now. Very risky or dangerous. Better say perilous. Perilous. Like for the example, amidst these perilous times due to COVID-19, it is still safer to stay at home. So instead of saying very risky times or very dangerous times due to COVID-19, better say perilous times. Now you got it. Next word, very good. Oftentimes we use this, better say superb. Example, Dubai's superb fireworks display has been sought for every New Year's Eve worldwide. So now instead of saying like very good fireworks display, better say superb fireworks display. Superb. All right. Next word, very large. Very large. Better say colossal. Colossal. Titanic was a colossal ship launched in 1911 and was believed to be unsinkable. Colossal. Titanic was a very large ship that time, right? Better say colossal ship. Next word, very happy. Very happy. Better say jubilant. Jubilant. Hey, you look jubilant today. Is there anything I need to know? So when you see someone very happy, better say jubilant. Next word is very careful. Very careful. Instead of saying very careful, better say cautious. Cautious. I always try to make cautious decisions every time. So all the time you try to make very careful decisions. So see, make your vocabulary better. It says here to the left, stop using boring vocab. Better say cautious for very careful. Next word, very competitive. But I have to tell you, this competitive here is in the bad sense or in the negative sense. Instead of saying very competitive in the negative sense or in a bad sense, better say cutthroat. So an example for this, they still dominate the market by selling decent items at cutthroat prices. So in this example, it talks about business, right? One entity dominates the market because they sell decent items or items that are of okay quality, but or yet at a cutthroat prices or at extreme low prices. Cutthroat in the sense that you cut others in the market off. You mean you dominate the market. You cut others off. You are very competitive in a not good sense because you cut others off. So that is cutthroat. Okay? So now you know cutthroat. Next vocabulary. Very confused. Very confused. You say baffled. Baffled. When you're in the midst of a dilemma between to choose going to right or going to left, use baffled. Example, Mary is now baffled whether to work overseas or stay at her post. So Mary in this example is confused whether to go working overseas or to staying at her post. So instead of saying very confused, you better say baffled. All right? Baffled. Next word, very dry. Very dry. Better say parched. Parched. So this is the example. I just couldn't imagine how parched Gobi Desert becomes during extreme heat phenomenon like El Nino. You know El Nino, it is a phenomenon because it happens rarely or very rarely. And then in this time, Gobi Desert, knowing Gobi Desert is already dry in its sense. When it becomes very dry, that's the time that you say parched. Again, stop using boring vocab. Use vocabulary or better vocabulary instead. For very dry, say parched. Next word, very fair. Very fair. Impartial. Example, the Chief Justice gives an impartial decision over the disputed territories. Okay? So when the Chief Justice gives very fair decision, better say impartial decision. All right, next one. Very traditional. Very traditional. Better say conventional. Example, 21st century learners do not appreciate conventional teaching methodologies. You know, our students nowadays, they do not like very traditional teaching methodologies. Example, the talk chalk teaching methodologies. You know, your teachers are now very good at this. They know how to catch the student's attention, okay? Very traditional, you say conventional instead. So there we go, our vocabulary words. To stop, use very. These are the sources. You can do follow-up readings. Thank you so much for tuning in. And if you do like this video, please don't forget to click subscribe button. Search on YouTube, Alfred English TV, and you will find my channel. That's up for today. And once again, I'm saying thank you. So I hope that this time you better stop saying very in your vocabulary. Bye bye.